Oh, it's been a while since I've been on here. Got some much needed sleep. I had to do my community service hours. It's a lot. I'm appreciative and I thank God that I have food to eat. And there's a lot of people out here that don't have food to eat. So I was out here volunteering at a food pantry. So I was doing that and getting some things in order, with my life and getting some much needed sleep, taking my helping my friend out, taking them to the grocery store, etc. But I am back today. And while I was sleeping, before I got a good sleep, I was getting my air mattress, getting that together. And something was going on with Michael B. Jordan. I'm hearing that he wanted to, some white guy that used to be his house assistant was like spilling tea on him. And I'm like, what's going on with Michael Jordan? Because Michael B. Jordan don't be in the news in negative press for nothing, okay? He don't be in the press. I rarely hear Michael B. Jordan in the press for like negative stuff. So it's this part of the show he was on, and I screen recorded it and posted it on the Wiley Show. But let me play it so you all can see it. Let me share this. Okay, because I haven't heard anything like negative about him. So this is like weird.
He's so cute.
So he had Creed body. He'd walk around his house, and I was the house assistant at that time.
Yeah.
So I was helping him move in. He'd walk around in boxers and no shirt, and he was so flirty. He would flirt with a wall. So he'd flirt with me. He would flirt with everyone in the office. He just flirted with the wall.
So he said Michael B. Jordan was walking around with no shirt on in his boxers. He would flirt with the wall, and he would flirt with this, this white gentleman that used to be his house assistant. But let's continue. Let's continue here.
Like, he was such a flirt. And I, being like so young, I was in my 20s, I thought we had a moment, but I could be wrong.
I think you did.
I was in his closet, and he was just like, are we gonna kiss? And I was like,
what?
I was like,
wait, what?
Now wait a minute. So he just gonna up in his boxes, in his shirt. Are we gonna kiss? Now, if I was in that situation, we'd have been kissing, okay? And when now, are we gonna kiss? The answer would be yes. Professionalism would have went out the damn door. I could just say that right then and there. If I were in that situation, okay? I'll play a little bit more of this. My gosh. Why is these celebrities don't have these social society NDAs? I don't understand it. But I'm here for it. When I heard that, literally, I was in my bed, not, resting. I'm hearing it, and I'm just clicking on it. And once I heard that, I immediately got off the air mattress, took my friend to Walmart, and said, I got to go live, and I got to put my coffee, my Dunkin' Donut coffee up in my Keurig. I said, I'm going live to talk about this. Let me play a little bit more of this.
Yeah, and I was like, Michael, and he's like, I just like to josh around with you. And I was like, I started twitching. I was like, and I was such a professional person. Thanks a lot, Dad. He was always like, you have to be professional all the time. So I was like, Michael, I have a job to do. And I went downstairs.
It's like, this is crazy. And when I'm going to tell you, like, even with dealing with
100%, he wanted you to go down on him.
Absolutely.
And look at her adding on to the story. Husband said he wanted you to go down on, like, come on now. Just look at this.
100%.
That was the vibe I got. I mean, there's been stuff that's come out about him. So.
This is my opinion. Yeah. We're not saying it happened.
No.
I'm saying that was the fishing fucking rod.
Yes.
And you swam away.
I swam away. I really, that's my, with the Tara Reid teeth thing? This haunts me. This haunts me that I walked away.
Me. I wish I'd ever heard this part of the story.
I know, it really haunts me. And again, I'm not here to out anyone. That's not my job. But there was a vibe between us that goes beyond sexuality.
Girl, you ain't that trying to out nobody, but you just outed somebody. Dumb.
We loved each other. He was wonderful as a person.
So you hear that. And I could believe it. I'm having a conversation with my friend, taking him to Walmart so he can get his groceries. You know what I'm saying? I love to help people. I wasn't in the end. I didn't feel like doing it today, but I like, let me send him the link. Let me send him the link before I start flirting. Hold on. He wanted me to send him the link to it. So let me send him the link. And he wanted me to take him to Walmart. And I was like, cool. Okay, I'll take you, So, but he was like, oh, I believe it. And my thing is this. He probably is. He probably is go both ways. You know, he rarely in a relationship. He probably like it. And it's okay. Even if he come out and say that he like men, his career, it ain't gonna cancel his career, people. So I don't know. I do believe the guy that they would get things in. I'm glad that the guy did not juice up the story. He probably not gonna spill that probably in a book because he didn't already laid the seed. I can see Michael B. Jordan liking both men and women. Is that going to stop me from watching his music? I mean, watching his movies? No. Is that going to stop me from supporting him? No. He could be bi. Now, with a lot of women, look at him different. You know, some women might, you know, but if you like both, if you like to get your poo 98 and suck on peen, you really can't look at him any different. I don't put none past nobody either. And when I heard it, I'm like, it's a possibility. You know, it's a possibility that he told, you know, the guy to, you know, do all that type of stuff. But my thing is this, you know, make sure you have these people sign NDAs and be careful flirting with the staff, you know, and get somebody that you could put on payroll to do all the type of nasty things that you can do with them. You know, put them on payroll and put them on payroll, put them on a certain account that they get paid. And the only thing you do with it, you flirt with them, you the nasty with them instead of just randomly doing it with employees. I believe him. And, you know, I believe him too. I believe that Michael B. Jordan is a flirtatious guy. You don't see it, you know, out in public because, you know, the cameras are on. But I can believe it. But do I believe that Michael B. Jordan needs to be careful flirting with people due to the Me Too Time's Up era? Absolutely. You got to be very careful. Mm-hmm. You can't be out here just flirting with men's or women because they'll get you up. Now, Michael B. Jordan, now, come on now. Don't be out here flirting and get yourself caught up in a courtroom and you caught up in a mess because you got to be very careful. Even myself, I can't go around flirting with people no more, you know. Well, I ain't got no money, but let me stop it now, you know, because people will try to have you all up, caught up in court cases and stuff like that. And I will tell you, I haven't dealt with nobody in a long time. Like more and more I do a show, I rarely be around people now. It's just up video, you know, pajama jelly and, you know, all that type of stuff. But you want to be very careful flirting with all that money, Michael B. Jordan, because you can get yourself caught up in a mess. So just be very, very careful. Don't be out here flirting because you get yourself caught up in what I call a mess. You don't want to be in no mess. Why would you even tell that? I just think he just did it for clicks and views, for attention. I mean, you give a person like his caliber, but another people can argue now. When I listen to the first beginning of the interview, he lost his job in December. He's not employed no more. So is that because now you spilling tea because you lost your job? So a lot of times too, you got to be very careful putting that out in the atmosphere because he did lose his job. He was fired. So that was going on. So I don't want nobody, you know, if anybody that's out there, he did lose his job. So because is it because he lost his job that he's putting himself out in the atmosphere? It is what it is. Now, this video is super funny. I that's my whole take on that. Now, I do got the phone lines open up if anybody want to call in about Michael B. Jordan. Okay? Now, don't you hit. Hold on. Let me put that up. Don't hit this line talking about Wiley, what we talking about. Okay? We talk about Michael B. Jordan on this. So if you want to call in, give your tea. But don't hit this line talking about, can you repeat what you were saying? No. The answer is no. But this video is funny. I want y'all to see that this is Mama D singing a gospel song. Now, I saw this a couple of weeks ago. But I want to hear it again. This baby, we break up. Come on, Mike. Come on, Mama.
His blessing daily. I surrender all. Yes, I surrender all to thee, my blessed Savior. I surrender
Yeah.
Georgia Pride. His blessing daily. I surrender all. Yes, I surrender all to thee, my blessed Savior. I surrender.
He my blessed Savior, I surrender. Oh, you better go ahead, Mama D. You better go ahead. Mama D got the vocals. When I heard that, I jumped up out that bed and I was laughing my behind off. I jumped up that bed and laughed out my behind off. I was up there laughing my behind off. Okay. That dude said that he wanted to laugh. He did want to laugh, but they didn't play like the full clip. When she started singing, he started like fumbling stuff, trying to find stuff to do, trying to fumble and all that. That was like crazy. What you doing all that singing for? You can't hit that note like that. Now, come on now. Get up there and try to sing and sing right. Let's go to the phone line. 2355, call you on the air. Hello.
Now, come on.
Hello. You got me live.
Hello?
Yeah, turn me down the background. Go ahead. What you got to say?
Hey, Wiley.
Hey.
Hey, yeah, I'm talking to Riley. This is Shalika calling from Chicago. I love you, Wiley, okay?
Oh, I love you too.
No, now listen. I was too busy laughing at Mama D.
Yes.
Now, Michael B. Jordan, he do need to stop, though. You was right. He need to stop.
Yes.
That can get taken way out of context. He do, though. He do.
Yeah, he definitely needs to be careful.
But I love you. But I do love you, Wiley. You were so funny. I watch you all the time. I got everybody watching you. Okay?
Oh, wow. What part of Chicago you from, beloved?
I'm on the north side of Chicago.
Oh, okay. Well, it's good that you called in.
Almost in Evanston. My name is Shalika. My husband's name is Jermaine.
All right, Shalika on the line. Well, thank you so very much, Shalika. I wish you nothing but the best, sister.
I miss you, and I'm watching you right now, Wiley. I always watch you.
Oh,
and I'm Shalika 6. I'm the one to be donating you the money.
Oh, well, thank you. You know, we always need donations. Thank you so very much.
Okay.
And you want to sing us a song?
Okay, bye, Wiley.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right. Okay, I'm going to let somebody else call.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to keep watching. Bye.
All right, now.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I love Wiley.
I love you, too. You just don't know.
Okay, bye-bye.
Surrender all to hear my blessed Savior. I surrender all. You better go ahead, Mama D. All right, now. Step in the Name of Love, my dear brother R. Kelly. Some of his goons got caught up, intimidating witnesses, and they have been charged. Now, R. Kelly, according to the Jasmine brand, they have, R. Kelly have been hiding $1.2 million in a secret bank account while claiming he's broke. According to reports, disgraced singer R. Kelly, real name Robert Sylvester Kelly, was caught hiding money. As previously reported, R. Kelly and his defense team has been fighting to have an early release granted to avoid COVID-19 for months to no And an Illinois judge refused to grant the motion due to the singer being a flight risk. His legal team claimed he doesn't have the funds to flee. But in court documents filed Tuesday, August 11, 2020, U.S. Attorney Angel stated that the federal investigators uncovered a secret bank account linked to R. Kelly with more than $1.2 million. Reportedly, the account was alleged open in the name of a person who incorporated an LLC titled Some Brothers Love in March of 2019, where R. Kelly music royalties have been reportedly forwarded to. Prosecutors were investigating exactly how that money was allegedly being spent, whether to pay the bribes or to avoid court order financial penalties. So it is being said, and this was broke on the Jasper brand, that he is hiding over $1 million. I'm not surprised. I told y'all he wasn't broke. Y'all kept on talking about he was broke. Stop listening to Tasha K. He ain't broke. Y'all that listening to Tasha K to a woman that's rehabbing a house and then she moving to another house, renting, you know, all that type of stuff. Man, I told that man ain't broke. Y'all listening to her. Tasha talk about she broke because Tasha, no. Tasha K don't be doing everything about R. Kelly. No. You know that man ain't broke. I've been trying to tell y'all he ain't broke. He still got money. Okay? Now that was all going on with that. And all that money that he had in that bank account, I knew he wasn't broke. Because when he went on to Gayle King, he said only had $30. I think he said only had a couple of $100. I don't know how to read. And man, please stop with all these lies. Okay? We know why 1.2 isn't really that much for his sake. I hope he signed a much. Yeah, of course he signed a lot of money. That man got he got millions of dollars. Okay? He signed you a dude, you know, be lying. My stepdad played the same game at divorce side. Right. Talking about he broke. He's not broke. And Tasha K, you know, she's talking about she moving and all that type of stuff. Let's go to the phone lines. I want y'all to call in and help me out with this show too. You know, how you rent the house and then you about to move, but then you said you have renters, now you about to move into something. Child, these bloggers be 2041, call you on the air.
Hey, Wiley, how are you?
Bless.
Well, that's good. I was just happy that your face lit up when Shalika was on the phone. You were so happy to hear from Chicago.
I love our city. I actually will be in Chicago next month. Going to visit and seeing some loved ones and visit the city.
Yeah, well, I hope you have a safe trip.
Thank you. Go ahead. What you want to say something on the subject?
Yes, Michael B. Jordan needs to go somewhere and sit down and stop playing before someone relieves him of the money that he has. Mama D, sister girl, you was all up in your flash, right? R. Kelly, I have nothing to add to that. I'll be praying for all of them that they'll have guidance.
You said you're gonna be praying for R. Kelly. Yeah, he definitely did. I don't know what made him think that he's gonna get out of jail because of COVID. No, the feds are after you. Anytime you have multiple felonies in different jurisdictions, you're not going to get out because of COVID. They're not letting Bill Cosby out. Okay, so they're definitely not letting you out. Not like you're gonna have to beat it. You got to beat that case. That you got to go to court and beat it.
Well, like I said, I'll be praying for all of them.
Definitely.
I came in Wendy. I guess she's selling her house.
Yes, I'm about to get into that now. You know, Wendy Williams. It's Kelvin Hunter, not Kevin. It's Kelvin Hunter. Has officially, they have sold their New Jersey mansion. According to reports, the former couple sold the 5-bedroom, 4-bathroom home for about $500K under their initial $2 million asking price. Due to COVID-19 pandemic, as previously reported, the luxury home was placed on the market in August of last year following Wendy Williams filing for divorce. And so that, you know, she got to take a pay cut. She done with Kelvin Hunter. I don't think that she's done with Kelvin Hunter. I think she only divorced her husband is because of the public fallout. It was because he got that woman pregnant. Some women don't care if you cheat on them as long as you don't have no baby on to get the woman pregnant. I just think once he got that woman pregnant, and Tasha K was the first blogger to report on it. She called the hospital pretending to be a family member and got the tea and spilled it on the internet. She didn't get didn't nobody give her credit for that. I'm gonna give sis credit. Wendy Williams was upset about that. That's embarrassing. You talk all this mess about everybody else, and here you couldn't even keep your man in check, and now he didn't impregnate somebody else.
I want you to think about something. You have people that they're always talking about other people, and they have nothing to show for it. I mean, you can just stroll through YouTube and see that.
Absolutely.
It doesn't matter. People will talk about other people.
I feel you though, but
anyway, I love.
Thank you so much for calling in. Thank you. And Tasha K put the information out like that. And my thing is this: you've been with this man for all them years, and he been having this side chick and got the side chick pregnant. Now I want to piggyback because I got a flashback. Now Charlamagne the guy talking about Michael B. Jordan didn't do that. Charlamagne the guy in this book. Tell me why is you talking about somebody else's peen? I read, it's a page in here. One of your childhood friends, one of your friends, you said he had a big peen. Why is you talking about another man peen, Charlamagne? And black privilege, I didn't think in black privilege I'm going to be reading about somebody got a long, humongous peen. It's in this book. It's in this book. And when he was talking about Michael B. Jordan, I had a flashback. This man was talking about somebody peen. About how retarded the guy was, but the guy had a big peen. What page was that? Oh, I don't know what page it was on, but he sure was talking about it. I was like, what? Oh my gosh, he said he had like some guy that he know got like a big peen. That's what he said. It's in the book. That's why I say y'all better read these people's book. And he was talking about it. Because he said the guy would chase people down the street talking about, look at my big peen and all that. I'm like, Charlamagne, why did you have to write a book about that? Now, also, too, I just had a little flashback. This is all what ties into, because, of course, he's a part of the Wendy Williams game. Now, I didn't read the part about the Wendy Williams stuff, but I did read about the alleged, the woman that was going to go on Tasha K's show and expose Charlamagne the God. In this book, I read his side of the story that he had this party and that somebody else was humping this underage girl, and they said it's Charlamagne. And he went to the police station thinking that his cousin was arrested for that. And he said, no, I take full responsibility. I brought the drinks, I brought this, and I brought that. He's saying that he did not have relation with that underage girl. Nothing like that. It's just he was charged only for the drinks and stuff like that, which that person was a minor. So that was a little piece out in this book because I wanted to always know what was his side of the story. So I know I'm late, but the book was on sale for about $8 at Walmart. So I picked the book up and started reading. So once I read this book in its entirety, I will break this book down and have a conversation with you. But when we were talking about Kelvin Hunter, I just had like a flashback. And of course, a little backstory about Kelvin Hunter and Charlamagne the God. According to his interview with Tasha K, he said that Charlamagne the God was extra dirty. He said the bathroom tub was crispy black. And so I'm definitely reading this book. But I had like a flashback when Tasha K illegally recorded Kelvin Hunter, the ex-husband of Wendy Williams. And he said that Charlamagne was dirty and that the maid had to scrape out dirt in the tub. I do remember that. So I'm going to finish reading this book. And this book is pretty much good. Let me say a little bit more of this since I got it in my hand. Have like a flashback. Of course, Charlamagne put in this book as though like he was selling drugs. And at first his father wasn't selling drugs. His father was a he knew how to build houses from the ground up, but then eventually he started to sell drugs. And the police came into Charlamagne's house and had a warrant out for Charlamagne's daddy, but they looked in a garbage can and saw there was baggies of coke, and so a residue of cocaine or crack cocaine. And so he was arrested, and while he was in jail, his father was in jail with him. And his father told Charlamagne, "Don't say nothing," because he thought that the cell was being bugged. So this book, I'm really getting my life in this book, and I love to read books. So they had brought, I had bought this, I think it was like $8 at Walmart. So I was reading it and getting my life. This book would be already done, but since we be having all this company over and the people want to ask me questions and very, very active, I can't really get done with the book. But, hopefully I'll be done with it by end of tomorrow so we can talk about it in its entirety. But this book is real good. Will I be shocked if Charlamagne ever come out and say that he's bi? I would not be shocked because he was so obsessed to talk about that man peeing. And he was talking about how the man will run down the street talking about how big it is he saw it. Why did you have to write a book about it? I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked. I would not be shocked because he wrote about it. He wrote about it in this book, and that just sounded like a flashback. I did. I had a little flashback. I had a flashback. I couldn't believe it. I don't judge his wife, Mike, though. They said maid didn't even want to clean it. Yeah, the maid didn't even want to clean it. The maid didn't even want to clean it because it was dirty. It was a lot of dirt. So that's what happened. And it made, because Tasha K, she illegally record folks. And let me tell y'all something. I gotta say this. Because y'all was trying to drag me with Kamala Harris, talking about Kamala Harris. Oh my God, Wiley. No, why are you talking about Kamala Harris? She's not black. She's black. She's black. Her father is Jamaican. Black. She's a black woman. She identifies as being black. And you ain't gonna change my opinion. I've been rocking with Kamala Harris since day one. Since she announced, I think in Oakland, when did she announce that she was gonna run for president of the United States? I saw something special in Kamala Harris. And y'all was just trying to drag me all in the comments, calling me this and that, talking about she ain't this, ain't that, she black. Whether you want to believe it or not. And y'all was just all up in there. And now just be happy that it's one step closer of having a black woman in office. Y'all was just dragging me. I mean, I'm getting dragged in my emails, getting dragged in my DMs. I'm like, you ain't going to change. I've been called it that Joe Biden should pick Kamala Harris. People didn't want to believe me, but I said it's going to be Kamala Harris because she's a senator. She dragged Joe Biden about the bus and called him out. And I knew, and she's a good senator. Now, she did some stuff that's a little shaky as a prosecutor, but what is a job as a prosecutor? To prosecute you to the fullest of the law. A prosecutor job is to prosecute you. But then she had programs for drug offenders. She had programs like that. But as a prosecutor job is to prosecute you. If you break the law, you will be faced with a prosecutor, and it's their job. They are obligated to prosecute you to the fullest of the law. They have to be a prosecutor. That's their job. So when people say, "Oh my God, she was a prosecutor," so you're saying that prosecutors shouldn't run for office? How dumb does that sound? Prosecutors should run for office. Okay? Now, you can be critical of that, but you got two choices. You got Biden and Harris or Trump and Mike Pence. Pick a side. Which one do you want? Do you want the Mike Pence and Trump or Harris or Biden? It's either those two choices. This ain't no time to talk about, well, let's get a new party. Let's get a black party, black power party. It's too late talking about getting a new party. You should have been did that 4 years ago. You should have had the infrastructure of a new party. You can't talk about over 80-some days into election time. Well, let's do a new party. Black folks, let's start our own party. So you can start that in the next election cycle. It's too late talking about starting a party. It's too late. What about Kanye West? What about Kanye West? Kanye West should have been talking about announcing to go for run for president. If Kanye West would have put the infrastructure in when Donald Trump was sworn into office back in 2016, then he would have had a better chance of running because he'd have been on every single ballot. But it's too late talking about some Kanye. What about Kanye West? I would say that again. What about a Kanye West? He's too late talking about running for office. Too late. You can say, oh, I'm for Kanye. If he ain't on the ballot, it's too late. You should have ran for office when he got sworn in 2016. That should have been a day Kanye West should have been laying the groundwork, getting on the ballot, registering people to vote, telling people I'm running for president in 2020 when Donald Trump won. But you just can't announce up in your dirty, crunchy drawers, I'm running for president, vote me because I'm Kanye. And my daughter, and what y'all don't understand, I love my mama and my daddy crying like that. Sir, sit down somewhere. Need to be slapped. Y'all don't understand because my daddy didn't love me. What about my daddy? What about your daddy? Sit down. I ain't know who my daddy was. You got millions of dollars. Sit yourself down somewhere. You need to be slapped somewhere. Sit down. That time about what about your daddy? What about my dad? You got millions of dollars stacked up. Thank you for the super chat. You waited too late talking about running for office. Talking about what about your daddy? Man, you got millions of dollars. Get over it. I wish I had a couple of $1 million. You a millionaire. You married to a woman that got millions of dollars. When she sleeps, she make her money. I'm just have to just say that. Sure. What about your daddy? If they're talking about your daddy, man, please, you got too much money. Well, buy you a daddy. You can buy you 3, 4, 5, 6 different daddies. Let me go on to a commercial break. Oh, gosh.
Yes. Have you heard? The Wiley Show is expanding and will now be on Station Head every Monday night at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. That's right. Download Station Head today. You won't because you don't want to miss Wiley being raw and unfiltered. The Wiley Show every Monday night at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time on Station Head.
Let's do it, yo.
Then it's on. Exclusive. That's right. Bringing you the best in politics and celebrity gossip. This is the Wiley Show.
Y'all need to listen to that, okay?
Don't stop. Keep it going.
All right. That make no sense. You got all this money. What the word you crying for? Only reason I'm crying for my dad, I want to know that he got some money. Sure. But if you had Kanye position, he got too much money. He got too many resources. I still don't feel sorry for him when he got up there crying. I don't feel sorry for no Kanye West, all the millions of dollars he got. He could get what's that comedian when it flew in and saw how Kanye was doing. Did you see that comedian went in, he flew in to see Kanye. When I sit and cry, be mad, can't nobody come see me and fly in. But they ain't got the resources to come and see and see how I'm doing. He had everybody flying in to come see how he was doing and a ranch. He got a whole island, little ranch out there in Wyoming somewhere. Think I feel sorry for that man? Please sit down somewhere. How about he running for office? He ain't running nowhere. That's the voices in his head. He just got the resource to live out the voices in his head. Sure. Well, thank you. Somebody sent me a cash app, and it said, "Let me read their note. What they said." Thank you so much for that. Wait a minute. I want to read what they wrote. Somebody sent me a cash app. Oh, I wanted to read. It was a note. It was a note that they wrote. Okay, can I read it right here? Yeah, somebody sent me a cash app. They said for Kanye to buy a new daddy. LOL. Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for that. To buy me a new daddy. He can buy him a daddy. Sure, he got all that money. You are feeling well. I zoom you while J feeling well. LOL. Sure, you all can't fly to come see me. He had everybody. What was it? Jermaine Dupri, who came from Florida, flew in to come see how he was doing. It ain't no doggone sense. Sure. Ooh, thank you for the donation. Whoever sent that to me, God bless you. Thank you for that, because I need it. I had everybody just flew in. He had everybody to come and see him. Now, Kanye said he's building condos or a cluster of buildings in Africa. We should say, yeah, Dave Chappelle. He's saying Dave Chappelle went to fly in to see how he was doing. When I had my man, couldn't nobody fly in. My mama couldn't even get a Greyhound bus ticket. Think I'm feeling sorry for men. They got all that wealth and power. Man, get someone to sit down somewhere. Somebody he running for president. It's too late to run for president, Kanye. Sit down somewhere. Too late. Man, please. Somebody he running for president. Oh, I think they spying on me. The Democrat. Ain't nobody spying on you. Them voices in your head. I think the Democrats spying. Ain't nobody, them voices. You ain't been sleeping. You a little manic, and you need to take your Zyprexa or whatever else medicine your people gave you so you can go to sleep for a couple of days. I know everybody ain't gonna be able to say it because they don't want to lose that job with you, but I ain't employed with you. Y'all, you trying to meet with Jared Kushner because you want to win. And now Trump up there telling, now they want to take away mailing the sorting of the mail machines. He's just trying to make it hard for y'all don't vote. But one thing about black people, when you try to stop us from voting, that make us vote more. We are not like in the past. We smarter than that. People going to be in the lines voting early. That's all you're going to do, increase early voting. People are going to vote you out. Especially black women. So you keep on making it harder for people to vote. That ain't gonna do nothing but increase people to vote. That's one thing about black folks. Don't you try to mess with them to vote. You're gonna lose. Because they're already organizing. Reverend Barber, he's organized with the Poor People Campaign. Roland Martin, he's going live, telling people that they stuck on stupid to call out Kamala Harris, her race, and all that. He's live. He go live Monday through Friday, 3 times a day, go live every single day. I'm waiting on folks that be obsessed with Cardi B to see if they're going to be obsessed with this election. Because they never be obsessed with Cardi B when Cardi B was talking to Bernie Sanders. But they too busy trying to find out is Cardi B married. But they never talk about when Cardi B was talking with Bernie Sanders about voting, about different things that are affecting our country. That didn't go viral. You understand that? Do y'all understand that? And he goes live right up in his basement. And that's a finished basement. That's one thing about Roland Martin basement. His basement is finished. I ain't see no leaking ceiling. I don't see no insulation leaking. Now, I seen that man basement. That basement is a finished basement. He got good quality green screen. That's the kind of green screen I want. That little circle thing of a green screen. We're going to get some of that, producers. Them the kind of lights we need. Because, I'm a chocolate brother. I need better lighting. Not one time they go live when Cardi B was talking to Bernie Sanders. They ain't go live and try to break that down about Cardi B. But they're bringing down, oh, she ain't married. So how you going to criticize somebody talking about she and you ain't married? Sit down somewhere. You wish you had an offset. I would say a lot today. I feel like saying it's that coffee running down in my veins. Folks just jealous because they wish they had an offset in their life. And I ain't gonna stop giving my opinion. I don't care if I don't have no friends. Long as I'm free to speak to my people, I'm good. I'm on the mailing my vote. And so if you can't get lost, I'm going to go to the polls. If you can't stand in line at Black Friday, you can put a mask on and stand in line to vote. Right. Stand in line, go early, and vote early. And people, let's go to change.org. I'm sorry, not change.org, vote.org. Let's go to the phone lines first. Because I know y'all want to call in and say how you really feel. And I give credit to the 2 or 3 callers that we get, especially to my sister that always call in. I call her the #1 producer in the world because she always calling in. Anonymous, you live on the air. I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. Go ahead. Who is this? Hello? You live on the air?
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you.
Hello?
Go ahead. Who is this?
Wiley?
Yes, who is this?
Hi, Wiley.
Hi.
This is Ebony Princess. I love you.
Oh, how you doing, Ebony? Likewise.
I'm an avid listener and supporter. I just wanted to chime in, and you mentioned, about people who are Cardi B supporters and like, hey, why ain't y'all out here on the campaign? I just wanted to chime in as one of those people, Wiley. We don't get, I would say, as much visibility, but trust me, Wiley, we out here and we working and we listen to your show.
Yes.
Like we're doing phone banking, fundraising, events, you name it, and not giving too much of myself away because, the career, but like folks like us been doing this for over 15 years.
Come on.
Since we was kids. But it's at the same time, we love Cardi. We love Meg. You know what I'm saying? We love listening to you. What's going on with the celebrity gossip? That's human nature.
Yes. But I also too want to keep in mind about politics because that's most important than to be worried about what Cardi B doing or who's married to Cardi B. What's important is who's going to be in elective office to make sure people are being taken care of. That's what's the most important. Ain't nothing wrong talking about celebrity gossip, but every once in a while, you need to be more important to get more civilly engaged and having those engaging conversations about who's going to be running for office in your district and Congress, state, city, et cetera, et cetera.
Yes, Wiley, I'm with you. I'm not disagreeing, sweetheart. I'm just kind of uplifting to just let you know there's millions of us out here who are like that.
Yes.
We're knocking on doors. We're calling. We're phone banking. We're fundraising. Some of us went out on the road all the way out in Iowa, North Carolina, fundraising in battleground states. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you, sister, on that.
Baby, that's too much to have your head in there all the time. And I thank God for you every day. You give me some levity. You give me some peace. Because that political world is too heavy on your heart and soul. You feel?
I feel you. Every once in a while, you need to take a break. But my dear sister, the one that was over the DNC, that black one, down in Brazil, she said you make sure y'all get in the bedroom and have some love making when you run for office so you can release some of that stress. She said that. She said she would say that a lot. She said, get in the bedroom, with your mate and release some of that pressure. Because it is become stressful into politics. She did say that.
Yes. I'm not going to disagree with that. The outlets are good, whether it's listening to your favorite podcasters like me, Wiley, having sex and being intimate with a lover, whatever it is, you need your outlet. But, when it comes to politics and loving people like Cardi B or Meg or, entertainers, that's just human nature. Nothing has changed. All these things can exist in the same world. And I just kind of wanted to call in, as a supporter and a fan of yours, just kind of uplift that perspective and let you know there's people out there like that, like me, who are big fans of yours and listen in every day.
Are you excited for Kamala Harris?
I'm calling donors.
Are you excited? Are you excited for that piece? When you said calling donors, are you excited for Kamala Harris? I heard that people are donating. I donated last night to Joe Biden because of that. Then I'm gonna donate again because he picked Kamala Harris. But are you excited for Kamala Harris? Is that making you have some type of excitement hearing that he picked her?
I am. I'm very happy for Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris is the black woman. She's a biracial black woman. She's Jamaican and Indian. She's from Oakland, California. Oakland's one of those deep-rooted major black cities. There's Oakland, there's Chicago, there's New York, in LA, where there's been a lot of uprising and historical movement. beyond southern states for Black people, and just to know she was born here in Oakland, California, raised in Oakland, California, and she made it to where she is. You know, and before her, we had Shirley Chisholm. We have a lot of other amazing Black women in Congress, in the Senate, like Barbara Lee, Val Demings. There's a lot of great Black women. So me personally, I'm gonna be happy whenever there's Black women who care and support about Black women and Black issues. I know everybody's not without, you know, controversy or critique, but that's my opinion. And I just want to call in and just say, love your show, Wiley.
Love
and
you.
just to affirm, there's a lot of us love you, love Cardi, love Meg, love Kamala, and love Paula.
All right. What? Did that break up? Hold on 1 second. Thank you, sister. Oh, yeah, because this thing sometime. Oh, blog talk. Give me a second. But get her back on. I like that caller. Blog talk be doing it. It be playing on games. Give me a second while I get this. When I get this back on, let me leave that way. I'm gonna do this again. Let me refresh that. While I get that booty back up. Okay, let me get this booty back up. My apologies. What's going on with the line? My apologies to that caller. Call back in, but thank you for calling in. So we're trying to connect the lines back.
Start your show now.
Okay,
press
there we go.
1.
I don't know.
It appears that the host has already dialed into this show. Only one host is allowed per show. Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
Am I already logged in? Yes. Give me a second. Hold up. Let me see something. All right. Okay. Well, let me go to this video. I meant to play that earlier. So I'm going to go and play this video right quick. This is Jamal Green is responding to the looting that happened in Chicago. So I'm going to play that. And that'll be the last thing we play for today. All right. Thank you to that caller that called in. Let me play this because I meant to play this earlier, y'all, but I'm going to play it now. Y'all like, what we going live? Here we go.
Greetings, everyone. Welcome to my State of the City address on what's going on in our city. As you come in, do me a favor and share this video with somebody who may need to hear. I'm going to say many things. I'm going to address many things in this live that needs to be addressed. I'm sure there's going to be many things that I forget to address, but I want to cover the main topics after what's been going on in our city. So come on in into the room, and we'll go ahead and get things started. First, let me first just say, and let me start with this on why we're even here today and why we're discussing this topic. Yesterday, there was a man that was shot by police in Inglewood. In a situation where there weren't a lot of facts that were let out. But let me tell you why. The reason is because there were no body camera devices on the police officers that were there. So the reality is a lot of what happened yesterday in that police involved shooting is going to be what each side say. And that's that. After that situation happened, folks went downtown to loot, and they broke into many stores like Apple and Gucci and Louis and stole some items. And now we're here today to talk about the fact that the topic of the discussion in the city of Chicago is all about looting. All about looting. So let me first just say, and I want to tackle the media first before I dive into what I need to dive into. Let me first just say, and this is a message to the media, all my reporter friends, all of the news editors and folks who watched me, I hope you're watching, because this is to you. The reason why a lot of the problems, let me tell you guys, don't get solved in these communities, a big reason is because we don't create the narrative. A big reason is because we don't own the news stations, and we have folks in these news stations that don't understand these communities, so they paint us as criminals. Most of the folks that you see, most of the stories that you see on the news, they're painting black people in a bad light, and they're making people believe that we are these quote unquote savages, that the word that they're using today because of what happened yesterday, because of the news content that they choose to show. While there are folks that are out fighting crime, and folks that are out there mentoring, and folks that are out there trying to do good in the community, they won't show it. They're going to show majority of their content is going to be black people either shooting people, looting, or anything of that sort, to make it seem like black people are just the problem, that we the problem child, we the black sheep, basically, of the world, where they believe that now we should move our money to policing and prisons. It is all a play, because you got to understand what the media shows you is what is the pressure that they put on the politicians to structure their resources accordingly. So if they show you on TV acting like animals or being violent and however they want to paint black people, what's going to happen is the politicians going to say, oh, we need more police. Oh, we need the National Guard. Oh, we need more space in the prisons, or we need to build a private prison. It is all a play because it's all by design. So media, let me say this to you guys. You have a unique job. And today, and hopefully all these new reporters understand that everybody in America, and especially in the city of Chicago, deserve to be reported on correctly. And we are not okay with the fact that when people are talking about real problems and real solutions, that they get no coverage. When people are out there protesting about violence or anything else, we get no coverage. But when looting happens, now this is all the topic. I'm getting calls all morning. Jamal Green, please come talk about the looting. Come talk about the looting. But when I got out there and I want to talk about how do we have community centers and mental health facilities and better schools and all of these different things, y'all don't show that's the same energy. That has to be better. So I'm going to go ahead and dive into the topic now that folks have got into the room. Let me tell you guys something. I said earlier today that any form of looting is unacceptable, right? And what I meant by that, when I say any form, is what I'm talking about is the fact that everybody in this country right now is, especially the people in power, are doing forms of looting in these neighborhoods. And so when I say any form of looting is not okay, what I'm saying to you is the fact that these folks are in these neighborhoods that have been deprived, disinvested from, and it has been looted by the city government and corporations for years. And that's just the truth. So we're going to talk about one form of looting. We got to talk about all forms of looting. News. You want to talk about people going and stealing stores? Then let's talk about how these corporations are stealing money from these communities, and they're not giving them generational wealth like these banks. Let's talk about how the city government is taking all of our tax dollars and they're not investing it in our neighborhoods, but they're investing it in other neighborhoods that are not predominantly black. Everybody's doing some hoarding of resources and looting. So let's talk about all of it. Let me say this about what people have been saying about the people that have been going out there and looting. What they've been doing is they've been calling them criminals and calling them savages. The mayor got up today and the superintendent, once again, not sensitive about their wording, and they talked, and they basically just said they were criminals and they need to lock them up and throw away the key. They got up there today, and the mayor said that she wants them to go to jail. And they want them to hold them for looting. Most of them are misdemeanors. A few of them might be felonies. But what the mayor wants is she wants people to be held instead of get a bond for the looting. And here's my problem. We don't understand that we only want to wait for a reaction so that we can call people criminals and throw them in jail. But the real criminals are the people in the village, in the city government, everybody else, the corporations that have all played a part to create this reaction. Let me say this, to create this reaction that we're seeing. I've been called a criminal all my life. I've been considered a criminal all my life, so I can speak on it. I was kicked out of 9 schools. I grew up in these neighborhoods. When I was protesting, I got charged, framed by police officers. They arrested me and gave me a $350,000 bond and said, you don't need to be on the streets. I've been considered a criminal all of my life. So I understand what it means as a black man to always be considered a criminal no matter what you do. Please understand, whether you are peacefully protesting, looting, or anything else in between, you will always be considered a criminal and below or a non-human just for the color of your skin. So all of those folks out there that is continuing to perpetuate that or say things like savages, these folks are animals, these folks are criminals and they need to just go to jail, I want y'all to really understand what y'all saying, because these could have been your kids that were failed. Let's talk about the root problem here and the roots of what's going on, because many folks want to act like this is many people are frustrated. And I want y'all to take a step back for a second. Oh, I was targeted today. That was another thing. See, they're already thinking I'm a criminal. They was targeting me, putting my license plate out. Listen, take a step back. And I want y'all to take a deep breath real quick, because I know we frustrated. We all woke up shocked today. A lot of folks all woke up angry. I want y'all to understand, we all probably felt that. But we cannot use our frustration and say things that we want something so immediate that we just want folks to go to jail, but we're not talking about how these folks got to this situation in the first place. And that is what we failed to do. What makes a person, what state of mind do a person have to be in for them to walk and bust out windows to go and steal? What state of mind do that person have to be in? I want y'all to think about that. Think about that. Now, while a lot of folks disagree and they hate that I don't get on here and down people and call them criminals, I want y'all to think about the white kids when they commit crimes. They dropping out of school and doing all type of crimes in colleges. I can go on down the list on what white people do. Hell, when white people go and shoot up churches, they don't even call them criminals. They say they have a mental health problem. Think about how they paint white children compared to how they paint black children or black youth or black young adults. It's a totally different situation. If these were a group of white kids that were looting, they would be trying to figure out why they're looting and how they could solve that problem. But now that there are black youth and young adults that are going to loot, they are trying to figure out a way so that they can find them, so that they can get them to go to jail. Here's the real problem that I have with a lot of you folks that are out there that are talking about the people that are looting. My problem with you, and I'm going to go ahead to city government and everybody else in a minute, but I'm going to talk to you because some of you folks are watching. My problem with you is that you do nothing to contribute to what's going on in these neighborhoods. Therefore, I don't want to hear from you. I'm being honest about this. I don't care how you feel, unfollow me. But if you are somebody that is not contributing to the better betterment of these neighborhoods, I don't want to hear from you. What does that mean? What does contribute mean? The real situation is that a lot of folks on these blocks that's on here talking bad about people are scared to go talk to Lil Pookie and Ray Ray on their block. They call them, they say they got cousins, they got nieces, and everybody else that's quote unquote out of control. And all they want to do is kick them out, send them to jail, and instead of understand why they're that way and try to be a part of the solution. How many of you folks out there mentor you? How many of you folks are out there really trying to contribute to what's going on in these communities? If you are not, I don't want to hear from you. I don't want to hear from you. Just sit back and watch. Let me say this. The reason why what's going on today, and this is a tie to exactly what I had to say, is because we don't have a relationship with the people that are on the ground. These folks who are out here starving, these folks who are out here waiting on a situation to happen so they can go loot, these folks who are homeless, these folks who have mental health problems and PTSD, these folks who are going through all of these things that are in these streets, that are in these cliques, with other folks going through this, that are out here committing crimes because that's the only way, the only thing that they know. We don't have a relationship with them. Why? Why is it that we can't pick up the phone and say, what you doing out there? Get your butt in the house. Why? There's a reason. Why can't we have a connection to the people that are on the streets so that if something happens, we can pick up the phone and say, hey, get your youth in order. I see your young boy out here busting windows. Go get him. Because we have prioritized property over people. Property over people. They've been doing it since the beginning of time. And at the end of the day, when you prioritize property over people, you put more money into policing property. You put more money into people going to jail. You don't put more money into youth programming. You don't put more money into community centers, into mental health, into jobs. You don't put more money into those things. So what happens is when you are policing property and investing into property and not people, you get what happened yesterday. I denounced it, said it was unacceptable. All that is fine. But the reality of the situation is if we want it to change, then we got to get our act together. We can't get up here and wait on them to loot so that we can get on TV and say, we got to go get them, go to jail. We got to be proactive. It's going to take for the city officials, communities, for everybody to play a part in this thing. I was that kid who could have, I always tell y'all this because I want y'all to understand what I have to say about this. I was that kid that was kicked out of 9 schools. I was that kid that always challenged every system that was put in front of me. And I could have went to the streets. I could have went to loot. I could have did. Thank God I didn't. But the reality of the situation is a lot of these people got potential. But we have yet to give them an outlet to let it out, to grow it, to live out their full potential. And so we have a responsibility. So all these folks out of here, and I hate when people say this, they need to go to jail. What you need to do? Let me ask you what you need to do since you have contributed to the problem. How have you contributed to the problem? You're not doing nothing to help solve it. You only caring about your kids. You only caring about your kids, so you don't want to talk to them other kids that he bringing home. You don't want to talk to them other kids on the block that you got a little more to offer than most folks. And so you are contributing to the problem. So what do you need? Everybody has responsibility for what's going on in these streets. Everybody. I want you to understand that. Everybody has a responsibility for what's going on in these communities. I don't want to hear nobody not take a responsibility saying they need to go to jail or they savages or anything else. Take responsibility for your part. Mayor, community resident, take responsibility for your part. Everybody needs to be working together, not playing the blame game. Now I'm playing the blame game right now with city officials because we've already said these problems a million times. We already said these solutions a million times, and you've yet to act on them. So now you want to react and play the blame game when these solutions have been already put in front of you. How many times do you want to meet about this? How many times do we have to say this? I am very, very disgusted with the mayor and our superintendent for disrespecting Kim Foxx. I want to say that clearly. And we're going to talk about parents. Everybody got a part to play. But when they come out the household, it's a different story. They don't have parents because the system play a part in breaking up families. I want to say that I am very, very disgusted with Lori Lightfoot and the superintendent for what they did today. Very. Want you all to understand that. The superintendent, David Brown, got up today and called everybody that was looting savages and said that Kim Foxx wasn't doing her job. She need to lock them up and she need to throw away the key. And it was very disgusting to see that because that showed that they weren't taking responsibility for their part. Kim Foxx has been an awesome state's attorney. You don't solve these problems by locking up people. That's not how you solve the problem. That's playing a blame game and throwing the blame to Kim Foxx, trying to throw the blame to Kim Foxx when really you hold the power to change things. Kim Foxx don't arrest people. Kim Foxx don't have the authority to put resources in these communities. Kim Foxx don't have the authority to let people out of jail. She charges by the law, and the judges give bond and let people out accordingly. The only person that is doing their job on a political level in this city is Kim Foxx. Why? Why is that, I say? It's because Kim Foxx got in there and she said, I am not going to focus on nonviolent crimes. I am going to focus on violent crimes only. So bring me the murderers. But unfortunately, the superintendent and the police department mayor can't do it because they don't solve but 15 or 20% of the murders. So they can't bring her the murders. So when she neglects to charge in low-level offenses because she wants to focus on the murderers, take responsibility for what y'all are doing. Just like last night. You know we know where the quote-unquote looters was going downtown. You sent 400 police officers down there. You didn't prevent a damn thing. Police officers have been effective in this city since the very beginning. We spent $50 million. I'm pissed off about this. $50 million on police overtime in June alone. 30 days. How many? Is it even 30 days in June? 30 days. 30 days. We spent $50 million on police overtime. I want y'all to just take that in for a second. You know why that pisses me off? Because we don't have one mental health facility on the south and west side. We don't have no community centers and youth programming, no mentoring programming. We don't have no counselors in these schools. These businesses, we got boarded up businesses, boarded up houses. We got, woo! Like, I want y'all to understand how crazy that is to me. Like, I really want to pull my hair out when I see that we spend $50 million in 1 month on police overtime when we already give them $1.8 billion a year. We already given them $165 million for police misconduct this year. And on top of that, we give them $50 million in 1 month. Let me tell you, you could have paid them kids or them young adults and they wouldn't have looted. You could pay these folks in these neighborhoods and get them a stipend and they ain't gonna shoot. We could be doing so much better with our resources. And the fact that we got the nerve to blame Kim Foxx because she's neglecting to charge low-level offenses when we can spend $50 million a month on police overtime when we already give them $5 million a day. That is disrespectful. Y'all, let me put that in context for y'all so that y'all can understand $50 million went to police overtime in that month when we already give them almost $5 million a day. Do the math. 5 million times the amount of days in June and add another 50 million for an ineffective police department that does nothing but react. We asking for help. We asking for resources. But yet, we get 50 million more for police in 1 month. Now, let me say this, y'all, because I want y'all to understand this. All the white folks and racist folks on here that is always want to say, oh, you are playing a blame game and this and that. You don't have a solution. You're just a part of white supremacy. A lot of you folks don't give a damn about these communities. You just want to throw racial slurs out there and act like and just be trolls on social media. We have to get to the root of the problem, people. And the root of the problem is that everybody's not playing their part. I have not said that anyone that was looting was right. But what I've said is that no form of looting is okay. We got to stop hoarding these resources from these communities. We got to start holding accountable our corporations. We have to stop using media to paint this bad picture about these communities and these people, because these people need help. And when people need help, you do what you are elected to do. Kim Foxx is an amazing state's attorney, and we will protect her. Let me say this, y'all. I want to make sure that I'm tackling everything. Now on to solutions. All right, on to solutions. What can we do to start to tackle the root problems? We have to, as communities, understand that we need to be able to talk to each other. That's number one. That's number one. We need to be able to talk to each other. We need to start to understand that we are not each other's enemy. And so when we are walking around calling each other savages, saying you wrong for doing this and yada, 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 you are part of the problem. What can you do to help better our young people and break the cycle? I talked about it before. Who's going to help people break the cycle before they go over the edge? And before these people go out and loot or shoot, who's going to be there to tell them it's a better way? Who's going to be there to give them hope that they can be more than who they are and where they come from? Who's going to be there when they don't have a home and they need a place to stay for the night? Who's going to be there when they haven't eaten in 5 days and they need a meal? It is up to us to start to break the cycle of young people. And that's how you build a relationship. That's how you get connected. And that's how you are able to stop a lot of what's going on today. So if the mayor wants to be someone who is investing in the solutions, the first thing that she should be doing is restructuring resources to move hundreds of millions into community programs, community centers, mentoring programs, and investing in the people, not property. We're going to spend another 50 million in police overtime this month, protecting property downtown, shutting downtown down. But yet we have not invested in the people that matters most. We have to do better. We have to break the cycle. It is up to us. Let's do what we have to do. I said it before. I'll be announcing our 24-hour community center soon. Now, what are you going to do? Let's play our part. Love y'all.
All right. He said a lot in the video. That was Jamal Green. He's activist in Chicago. And he's been out here doing his job. And I'm going to continue to say what I'm going to say is you got to shift the economics. Now with the looting, the parents need to be held accountable. Those that have looted need to be charged, and community service and helping rebuilding those places that they loot. And also to charge the parents and to repay those whatever merchandise have been stolen. So I do believe in that. I don't believe in them to get like a felony, but I do believe in them paying back the money and also paying back the damage that they have caused, because you cannot go around damaging property, and also give them community service. But while all of that, also too, I believe the mayor need to redirect funds into those communities where it's a lack of funding, meaning they need to have job training programs, after school programmings, and everything like that. And this is stuff that we keep preaching and keep teaching. And it's not going to change until we get new leadership in office. Like in the mayor office, she have a lot of power. If you go back to the mayor with the mayor in Atlanta, the mayor that was elected back in the 70s, how he played a part into redirecting funding and to making sure that prime, real estate, not when they redid the airport, how black, law firms or black, what was that? Black construction firms were able to compete for those bids. So that's why that city is so embedded. They call it the Black Mecca, because of that mayor made sure that funding went to those communities that was getting lack of funding. But in Chicago, I personally believe that, the mayor is going to have to put her foot down and say to those banks, to those powerful places, hey, y'all need to put some money into these underserved communities. And yes, I'm gonna say it again, I'm against looting 100%. But if you gonna loot, go where the money is at. But let me say this, I'm against it. But if I had a choice of looting, loot where the money at, which is downtown. Hopefully some change come from that, but of course it's going to be a lot of tough on crime approach that they're going to be going into. But if you're going to loot, that hey, if you're just going to loot, so we shall see how that's going to go. Of course, a lot of those people that's going to get caught will be charged with felonies. Unfortunately, we're going to be charged with paying that money back, and I feel for the parents better know where their kids at as well. But I want to get into this other subject too before I close. T.I., a producer said this to me. He caught his child smoking something. So we're going to watch that together, because I just got that in my inbox. Where are we at? Okay. Let me see. We can. Okay, here we go. Let me screen share this. And I see y'all got suggestions all in the comments. All right. Hello. Can you hear me, Anonymous? Hello? Hello. I can't hear. Somebody wants going to call in. Okay, let me do this. Give me a second. I'm trying to see if the phone lines will work. Give me a second.
Start your show now. Press 1. To hear important instructions, press 2.
It appears that the host has already dialed into this show. Only one host is allowed per show.
Okay, it's not letting me. It's like a problem. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put another number on, because it is not allowing me to bring a caller on, because it keeps saying I'm already called in. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to the 972 number. Give me a second. Let me do that. So I got the new number. So we'll do that. All right. Let's see what T.I. is talking about. So if you're calling in, call the 972 number, 674-9462.
I'm out here enjoying myself, doing it the family way.
You dig what I'm saying? I hear, man, at the cabin, man, and you know what I'm saying? I want to, of course, you know, we want our children to experience the life that we have afforded for ourselves and introduce them to parts of the world that we ain't been able to experience when we was kids. But then, right? But then, I come out here, you know what I mean? I'm having a nice family time. And I come out here and look what I see. Look what I got to see. Look. Man, what is you doing, bro? Man, I'm gonna come kick your ass, man. You see what I'm saying? Hey, look, man. That's what I'm saying. This nigga down here sitting in the goddamn jacuzzi. I don't know what he doing, man. Look like what is he doing? I'm talking about here enjoying myself, doing it the family way. You dig what I'm saying? I hear, man, at the cabin, man, and you know what I'm saying? I want to, of course, you know, we want our children to experience the life that we have afforded for ourselves and introduce them to parts of the world that we ain't been able to experience. Man, hold up, man. I'm finna come down here. Man, hold up, man. I don't understand. It did what it come to? Man, what the hell? Go look at your son. Go look at your son. Man, I'm finna go kick this little nigga's ass, man. Who do you think he is, man? In my damn house. You know what I'm saying? This nigga here done bumped his goddamn head. Man, hold up, man. I'm finna come down here. Man, hold up, man. Man, hold up, man. I don't understand. It did what it.
So I guess he called his son smoking. Oh, MG. He just sit up in the jacuzzi just getting it. Money people, rich people problem. Go ahead. What's on your mind? What you got to say? Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, what you want to say?
Do you think you're too good for the beach sector?
Excuse me? No, I'm not too good for any sector. I never left the beef sector. You said what? Hello? Hello?
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail.
Hello?
Yeah.
To accept, press 1.
You live on the air.
Hey, Wiley.
All right, go ahead.
I want to say,
You got me turned up in the background. Turn me down in the background so I can hear you.
can you hear me now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, okay, why, you was talking about the looting and stuff like that, right? Why ain't nobody said nothing about reparations?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because if they do reparations, it will stop a lot of this foolishness will stop. The same thing they gave to the Native Americans, they should do for the descendants of slaves. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you.
So if the Native Americans, they get a check every month, they get to go to school for free, and we as Black people, we need to start pushing for that. Because I've been beating this drum for a good 3 years already. If they do reparations, you wouldn't have all this foolishness. A lot of this foolishness wouldn't even exist.
I feel you on that.
So what do you think about that? Like the reparations?
I feel like 100% we should have it. I feel like investments, and that's why we say make sure you transfer some of those funds to those communities that need it. That's a part of reparations. I definitely believe that that it is needed for our community, 100%.
Well, we're just talking about the help for the community. I'm talking about what y'all did for the Native Americans, and a lot of Black people got Native American. Like I got Native American in me. You know what I'm saying? But we couldn't prove what tribe we came from. But I mean, if you look up what they call it, it was the Hidden Colors. A lot of Caucasians got that. But they weren't even Native American. You know what I'm saying? So you know what I'm saying? Like, as Black people, we need to push. Hey, the same thing y'all gave to the Native Americans, y'all need to give to us, the descendants of slaves. You know what I'm saying? And what y'all doing, y'all out here committing genocide. What about the Black genocide? What about the genocide of Black people? We gave money to the Holocaust victims, and that wasn't even done. That Holocaust wasn't even done on U.S. soil. We gave money to the Japanese. We gave money to the Native Americans. But why we ain't gave no money to Black people, to the descendants of slaves, and all the stuff? Like, we made this country. Black people, we built the country. We made this country to what it is today. It will be no America without the African. And another thing, why don't we have Black people on our currency?
I feel you on that.
You know, but I'm not depressed. I'm going to get out of here, but I just saying that Black people, we need to stand together and we need to march and say, hey, we deserve reparations. The same thing y'all gave to Native Americans. That's what we want.
I feel you on that. Thank you for calling in. I feel you. I agree with you 100%. I feel you on that. I agree. That exactly what we need in this community. We're going to need that, and that's why it's important to get those in office to make those changes. You know, Congress, the Senate. We need to have those that really believe in that and that want to change that and put that to play and put that up for a vote. They say you don't have to go, brother. Keep talking. And that's what I'm saying. 100% I'm down for it. And this is why it is so important we get involved politically and sometimes not just vote, but actually run for office and to run in those districts. Get about 30, 40 of us, get into Congress, plus on top of what's in the Congressional Black Caucus. You make the caucus get at least about 100, 200 members. You would get a shift and change, as well as change those that are in the White House, change those that are in the legislative branch. That's why I'm 100% an advocate for it. Not just vote, but also run for office if you can. If you're eligible to run for office, run for office. That's 100%. I agree on that. They said call in and join the conversation. Yeah, so if you want to call and join the conversation, 972-674-9462. They said, why did you leave the B sector? Technically, I never left. It's on Patreon. And we go live on the backup channel, on the second channel. We talk about the B sector. It's really ain't that much stuff in the B sector in the first place. Not that much stuff to talk about. People ain't really talking about nothing. You get those that are actually leaving the B sector and stuff. So, hello. Hey. All right. How are you doing? What you got to say about the subject?
Good. I just want to speak on some of the topics that you were talking about.
Yeah.
Starting with Michael B. Jordan, I do think that he is bi. I do not think that guy would have gotten on a platform to make those type of statements about him if it was not true, knowing that he could be sued for defamation and a whole bunch of other things. So I do think that he's bi. He's still in the closet. Maybe he's terrified for coming out, or he hasn't fully stepped into his skin of who he is. I don't know, but I do think that he's bi. He gives me those bi vibes, so I can believe the guy. The other thing that you spoke on was regarding R. Kelly. I feel like the reason why R. Kelly hasn't gotten bond or bail, him or Bill Cosby, is because they're black. Because when you look at Harvey Weinstein, he's out due to medical issues and he's been convicted. When you look at Michael Avenatti, that has federal charges in the state of California, the state of New York, the state of Florida, Michael Avenatti had been convicted in the state of New York, facing 4 years. He's out on bail right now due to COVID. Trump's attorney is also out. So I think the reason why they're still in is because they are black men with money. but there are white men that are out that has money. So I don't think it has anything to do with having felony charges in this state or that state, because like I said, Michael Avenatti has that embezzlement charge with Nike and a whole bunch of other stuff that he has in different states, and he's been convicted, facing 40 years on one of his convictions, and then he has charges in other states that he has to go to trial for. So I don't think that that's the issue. I just think because he's black and they're going to treat them how they're going to treat them. Because if R. Kelly ain't getting on bond, then why is Bill Cosby still in there? And he's 80-something years old. So that don't make no sense to me. In regards to Jamal, I 100% agree with him. My issue is that schools are so quick to dismiss kids. Like, for instance, if they get into a fight, they want to suspend them for 10 days, expel them. There's no one really putting emphasis on the education or the betterment of the child. It's like, okay, you do wrong, we're kicking you out. They're so quick to lock kids up for minor crimes. No one is trying to give the kids guidance. Some of these kids are coming from broken homes that don't have the mother and the father, or parents that's out in the street. There's not really community that's like stepping in, helping the kids. And so I do 100% agree with him that a lot of this has to do with politicians and people that are in power that have the resources to bring change in these communities, but they prefer to lock people up because locking people up makes them more money. And then to talk about the reparation, part of the reason why they don't want to give black people reparation is because they make so much money off of them in these prisons. Like, why are we going to give you reparation when we're making billions and trillions of dollars off of you by locking you up? Because we know that we're going to keep you impoverished so that you can do stupid stuff to try and get money. So now we're going to lock you up for the rest of your life. So now you can make us billions and trillions of dollars. If you look at the prison population, it's majority black, even though black people make up the smallest percentage of the United States.
I feel you on that.
So that's what I have to say. Reparation would be great, but how long have we been talking about reparation and been fighting for reparation? And then if you look up the makeup, we're the majority of the people that are locked up. So it's like we're still enslaved, we're still in chains, and on our shackles on our feet and on our arms. We're still the ones that have to be. We have to look over our shoulders. We have to be cautious when we're getting pulled over by the police. We have to make sure we have our eyes dotted, our T's crossed. We have to make sure we educate our children. It's like so much that we have to do because of the color of our skin that we have to stay on our tippy toes where other races and other people don't have to live like how we have to live in this world, in this society that we help build. So that's all I have to say.
All right. Thank you for your opinion. Thank you.
All right.
And I agree with what's going on. And that's why, excuse me, we have to put the infrastructure. We have to get most involved. I'm getting more involved into politics as well. If you do not know if you're registered to vote or not, you can go to, give me a second. And we got another caller. Turn me down the background. You got to turn me down. All right, go ahead.
Okay. This is Zach. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. So I'm gonna talk about the reparations again. Okay. This is what we have to push as black people in this country. Every year, because you heard Bernie Sanders say, what does that look like? You know what that looks like. You know what you gave to the Indians, and they get a check every month. That's what we want as black people. You know what I'm saying? So as black people, we need to every year reparations. We need to bring it up. Reparations every election. Reparations. You know, it was so many black towns burned. I can just go through our history where we deserve it. But now it's this generation. We have to push it. We have to push the issue, and we need to bring up reparations. Because if we don't do this, then we are only 15%, 13% of the population. In another 400 years, if we don't push for this, then it's like we will. Maybe I'm wrong for saying this. I'm gonna take some heat. I don't want to be wiped out as far as we have other people coming into this country, and we still ain't got our reparations. What's due to us as Black people? I'm from Texas. My grandma's mom was a slave. My grandma mom's mom. We have pictures of her, as a slave. So what I'm saying is, Black people, we have to push the issue reparations every year. We have to say it together. Everybody's got to be reparations.
When you get your check, what you gonna spend your check on? If they were to give a check to Black folk, what would you spend your money on?
Okay, see, and I know what you're trying to say, Wiley, and I understand that.
I'm asking you a question. I was like, what are you gonna spend your money on?
I mean, but it's not. It's going to school for free. That's what the Indians get. They get a check every month. I don't know how much it is, but that check every month and going to school for free. That'll help our people a lot, because it won't be all these young people some of these young people in the streets like this. Oh, you need to go to school. It's free. You know what I'm saying? Or what you gonna do? Buy a house? Put it down. So it's all that. It's the housing. It's the money. It's the money every month. That check you get every month. It's the housing. So we're asking them. Reparations is an acknowledgement that you did wrong. It's an acknowledgement. That's how reparations is. You acknowledge. You know what I'm saying? So they haven't even acknowledged the wrong that they did, and we still playing this game with them. Why stop playing this game? Because you're going to get wiped out. So what I'm saying is, and I love everybody. I have Dutch in me, so people don't try to think like I'm racist or something. No, it ain't that. It's that everybody got reparations except Black people, and that's what I have an issue with. That's my biggest issue right now, is that people want to say, well, it's because of this they bought this and that. No, I heard Black people make excuses on why we ain't got reparations yet. Stop doing it. Keep your mouth shut if you don't have nothing to say to help us get to that point. Stop making excuses. You is a Black person. Stop doing it. You know what I'm saying? I keep hearing the excuse issue. But I'm going to get off because I'm getting frustrated, because I feel like that, if everybody would stick together, as far as, if everybody would say at the same time, every year, reparations, people, they would get tired of hearing it. They were like, okay, let's go ahead and give them reparations because they deserve it. They let them, do slavery. If they would have just gave the slaves the land, then we wouldn't even be here today. They after slavery, they took the land away. When they gave it to the slaves, they took the land away. So, and I can go throughout history and stuff. I mean, I can go, you know what I'm saying? So, we got to push at the same time reparations and stop saying, okay, well, I understand what you're saying, Wiley. What would we spend it on? What did they spend it on? What did the Native Americans spend their money on? You know what I'm saying? So let's stand together and stay at the same time every year, every day, every minute of reparations. And reparations, just keep saying it. But I'm going to get up out there.
All right, thank you.
All right.
Yeah, so reparations and put the infrastructure. You could say it, but we need to be organized and put that into place. And I agree. I hear the brother very passionate about reparations, and I'm definitely down for that. But before I go, don't forget, if you're not registered to vote, go to vote.org. You can go right down to vote.org. And let me screen share. Okay. And it shows everything. You can check your registration. You can register to vote or vote by mail. It's having all right there. Hello?
So this is Brother Wiley?
Yes, go ahead.
Did you hang up already, or you still online?
I'm still on the show. Go ahead. You want to say something?
Well, yeah, I definitely do.
Go ahead.
All right, listen, I'm glad you're doing what you're doing. First of all, congratulations, and keep up the good work. Don't ever stop. I don't think we got enough of us out here doing what you do, and we need more. You need more platforms. But as far as I'm not even going to talk about reparations. I mean, what I can say is this: we have enough now in the country, whereas we can do some things. Do you agree? Like, for instance, a lot of us now have tremendous access to do a lot. Some of us own networks. Some of us own studios bigger than Paramount, if you know what I'm saying, and so on and so on. But it's enough of us now that we don't have to really ask for anything. And it's okay to get some things that may be owed to us, but we now have enough where we really don't have to really look toward anyone else for it. And now it's a matter of coming together and building an empire. Well, that should be the next step. I heard someone say, when you own your own, you don't really got to be concerned with anyone coming after you. If you own your own, if you be your own boss, you don't really have to worry about anyone saying anything to you. You can say what you want to say, because then you're not working for no one else. You work for yourself. But as long as you're working for someone else, they own you in that sense of it. So you still got to, do your due diligence and depend on that dollar from who you work for. And us, we know how we are. So, no, we still got to remain professional, keep it 100. And until you're on your own, you really can't say anything. So the strive would be to own your own business in this country. And don't wait on the next race to give you anything. There's something else I think people need to understand. We talk about the Aborigines a whole lot, but has anyone read Deuteronomy chapter 28, verses 64 to 68? And if anyone gets a chance to read Deuteronomy chapter 28, verses 64 to 68, you're going to see some identification markers written there concerning us. And it happened to no one else but us. When we came over here during the transatlantic slave trade on those boats, there's only one race that came across the seas on boats. Now, with a description of I will send you back to Egypt on slave boats. You got to understand something. Egypt had been known as a country with wings. Yes. Since Israel, or shall I say Egypt, was not far from where they were, that wasn't the area where they were going to go back on slave ships. In fact, the next very event, years down, I'm talking about eons down the road, there's only one race that would ever sent across the seas on slave ships. Now, I've done my homework and done my research to come to find out, who are we here? And before we got here, who were we? Because it don't start here. What happened to us started from another country. We came here, we was not allowed to read. We were stripped of religion, stripped of our name, stripped of everything. And it was a purpose. And what we learned was given to us. Now, the truth of the matter is, well, who were we before we came here? And I did a great deal of research. So I can share this with you on your platform. In the area we came from, which is the west coast, tips of Africa, Africa being named after a white guy, Louis Africanus, really the original name is the land of Cush, or the land of Ham. If anyone goes back further than that, they're going to find out that the tribe of Judah, of the Hebrew Israelites, has been in the west coast tips of Africa for so long. The name had became tribe of B-E-N as in Nancy, I-N as in Nancy. The name changed. But we were there so long that they don't bother to find out how did we even migrate down to the west coast tips of Africa. That don't mean we weren't Hebrew. We've always been that. The majority of them that came over here is from the house of Judah. Anyone can do their homework and research and find out, because that's who we are. Now, we've been called everything else. We've been called African American community, anything else. But the moment you mention we're Hebrew, there seems to be this problem. And when you tell the truth about us, we're considered to be racist. We're not racist. We never was. We was born here. And the ones who brought us here are immigrants themselves. That's just true. That's all. So if we want to talk about how we can move forward, we need to know who we are in the first place. Nowadays, you got mix going on. And I'm not going to lie, yeah, you did. There's a lot of mixing that took place, but it still don't change who you are. So we are American African descent. It's not the title African American. No. It's American African descent. You know, that's what that is. That's who we are. All I can do is say I challenge people to go do the research and find out. You might find something out that was been covering up all along, because we had a religion before we came here. We had names before we came here. Our ancestors anyway. But like someone like me, well, I was given a name here because I was born here. But when I trace it back, I'm like, okay, so this is the truth that has been covered up for so long. You know, and what's wrong with knowing the truth? I don't get that part. That part I don't get. Do you get why is it when we tell the truth about us, we have always got to be considered being racist? The one race that so much has happened to. The one race that so much has happened to. Really. I understand the Holocaust and everything. No one's knocking that. But what about this Holocaust to this race of people here? We never had an independence. 4th of July has never been our independence. It has been their independence. We've never been given an independence. We've always been wanting freedom. When is we going to get that freedom? 1865? Juneteenth? That never even, they mentioned it, yeah, but did it actually happen? I mean, really, think about it. Who is still more privileged today? There you go. That tells you right there. We still got to be looked at a certain way when we walk in a store. It's just been whitewashed and covered up for so long that we need to understand as a people who we are, not as a community, but as a people who we are. And who were we before we came here or brought over here? That's what we need to look at, because it didn't start here. It started before we got here. And I want to give you one other information also. When we got here, there were blacks who had blacks in slavery. And that's something that no one is talking about. And you can Google it. The first black man that had slaves, about 60 to 65 slaves. There was also indentured slaves. They weren't black. Those were of other races, Poland, Russian, all over here. The slave trade was about capital gain, not so much about color. If you was in on it, you were down. If you were not in on it, you were not down. You was cast out and considered someone who's a backstabber and a betrayer because you didn't buy into the capital gain program that was going on at that time. And you want to do their homework, they can find that out. So yeah, you have blacks and blacks over here in slavery in this country. No one talks about it. I don't know, man. I'm not for slavery. I'm not for racism. All I know is, as a beautiful people, that was never us. We've been depicted as that, but that hasn't been us.
All right. Thank you for calling in. I'm going to go to the next
All
call.
right, now, brother. You have a blessed day. God bless you now.
All right. Bless you.
Call from.
Go ahead. You want to make us a comment?
Hey, Wiley, how are you?
All right.
Oh, this is my first time calling in, and I want to say the caller previous made some very good points.
Yes.
Yes, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Go ahead. Go ahead. Your point.
You made good points, but I would just say that knowing your history is really important, and for some reason, the history our kids are getting. Anyways, they reduced African American history to Martin Luther King, Obama, and Abraham Lincoln, and that's insufficient. Oh, and Martin Luther King.
And they really don't tell you the real history about Martin Luther King, about the in depth.
Right.
They just give you "I have a dream."
Wiley, I agree completely, but like they focus on the keynote speaker of the March on Washington. They don't focus on the people who organized the event.
Come on. Yes.
So I agree with the caller on many of his points, and I would say there are some immediate things we need to do, and correcting that is probably one of the first things. And that's all I have to say. And I'm the person who donated and said $5 for the boy to buy a new daddy. Take care, Wiley.
Well, thank you.
All right, bye.
All right, bye-bye. And that is why it is so important for parents to get involved into your child's education, to go to the PTA meetings, to go to the school board meetings, to run and get on the school board. So you can say, hey, let's have an extensive history about African-American history and not just put Dr. King in this one little "I have a dream" and put his life just to that one speech. No. Let's have an extensive conversation, and that's why the parents get involved into your children education and get involved. If that means get on the board of the school board, that means run and get on the school board. Get involved, get actively involved. Make trouble, as John Lewis would say, good trouble. Get involved, and that's why we are parents should also, get involved into their children's education, because that's you all have the power as a parent into what is your child is being taught in that classroom, and never just leave it up to politicians to make decisions about your child's education. Oh, we had a lot of people call in today. Well, we've been on here for about 2 hours. Wow. We covered a lot of subjects today. I'm going to thank each and every one of y'all. If you're not registered to vote, make sure you go to vote.org and you can check your registration. You can register and they will print out the application. They will tell you how to mail it. Vote by mail. They will help you to request your absentee ballot. You also can get election reminders. I highly suggest you do that. And then they also have this: too young to vote, pledge to register, and we'll text you a reminder on your 18th birthday. Then they also have that: need to find your polling place, view the list of state polling place websites, and then also they got the 2020 census. So it's all right here, and it's all on vote.org. We are 81 days away from election. So 81 days into election day. All right. If you have the right, you have the right to vote. If anyone tries to stop you, call the election protection hotline at 1-866-687-8683. We also wrote a handy guide to outline your voting rights. So it's all right there on vote.org. Yes, I was watching the memes, all the news videos. They said, I would like to regard us. You engage with us. You be on point. If 2 nights ago, my butt called and I was just talking foul. I was so passionate. I sounded all emotional. I'll read y'all comments. Don't be a single issue voter. We need to ask ourselves yes, I feel you. I'm reading your comments. Thank you all for calling in. Thank you all. I slept all day, so I might go back live. Who knows? So if you want to be notified when we go live, that number below, that 972-674-9462. Text that number and put notifications, and we will notify you when we go live. Okay? We went live yesterday, tonight, today, and then tomorrow we'll go live. So, we're going to get and have that conversation. Thank each and every one of y'all for calling in. We're almost at the 2-hour mark. Wow. We've been on here for 2 hours. It was good, and we covered a lot of subjects. Please, once this episode is over, if you can give us a thumbs up and comment. I love to see y'all comments. Yes. Go ahead. You want to say something?
I have a question because you just asked a really good question, but nobody could answer. If you got the reparations, what would you do with your money?
Well, for me, investments. I would invest in land.
There you go.
Yeah, investments to keep it going for your family. You don't want to just spend it on Gucci. I get some Gucci stocks and bonds, but pretty much with land and real estate, and just trickle that down, because that's what a lot of wealth comes from in America is houses and land. They transfer to their children. That's how white people are ahead of the game with us, because we don't own enough property.
There you go. There was a thing he said.
Oh, hold on. Did she hang up? Hold up. Did she hang up? Oh, let me call her back. Hello, ma'am. Let me call her back. Can you call back? Did she hang up or did her phone die? What number? Give me a second. Is this the number? Call back, ma'am. I think this is it. Yeah, I can hear you now. Go ahead. I'm sorry about that.
Did you hang up on me?
Hey, no, it just disconnect. Go ahead, sister.
Oh, I have a question. Well, I don't want to be down on nobody because I don't like to, first of all, I don't even want us arguing with each other.
Uh-huh. No, you had asked a good question about what he put the money. I think that's a very valid question.
They say, what do white people do? Well, that's obvious. They own stuff. They buy stuff.
Absolutely.
If you really think of it, there's only 6 really major families in the United States that own all the wealth. It's probably 16, but it was 6 in the beginning. We don't have none. If we took our money and put it back into us, we could be one of those families.
Absolutely.
So we can't say, what do white people do? Well, don't follow them. Follow you. Make your own path. Make your own path with your people.
Because look, with redlining, let's be clear, with the redlining, that was like a federal mandate that prohibit Black folks to live in those areas to buy property and trickle it down. So a lot of these white people had a head start, had decades to have that real estate, sell it, send their kids to college, they get degrees, they in return get good. We didn't have those same opportunities. So if we ever get that type of money, even with that stimulus check, you have some people, I've known some people personally, even myself, I invested in the stock market. So keep it, you know what I mean? Buying stocks and bonds, understand about understand the importance of investing into a company, into Apple, etc. Instead of buying an iPhone, let me get a couple Apple stock. We have to start telling our children that.
You're gonna get on something. Like, you're gonna get my nerve. This is gonna be real. Y'all gonna be real mad at me. I cried. Y'all gonna be mad at me. I'm so sorry. Please don't be mad at me. I love y'all. I really do. I watched George Floyd die, and that systematically did something to my spirit. Woman of God, that's something like killing a dog or an animal or something, putting them down. But then the same thing went over me when I was watching television, and I saw about 55 Black people during a pandemic standing in line at the Nike store to get the new Jordans. Did I miss something? I must have missed something. Y'all got a stimulus check and you went to go buy some Jordans in a pandemic?
Mm-hmm.
We got to teach our kids better than this. And they weren't like grown people. These are like 15-year-old, 14-year-old, 12. Where's your parents? You can't just be like, oh, the kids are the wild. No, your parents shouldn't have even let you go to the mall to spend that money, give them that money. It was the craziest thing I ever seen in my life. It hurt my spirit. It's like, we're already looking at crazy. They already put us in a bad light on television. And sometimes we do put our own stuff, reality TV, we can put ourselves in a bad light. But I mean, just real news stuff, politics, they put us in a bad light. But so you are going to take your money and then go get some gym shoes? I didn't see no white kids standing in line at Aerosmith. But none of those stores they go to. Did you see it? Because I must have missed it.
And that's why I tell people, and that's why parents got to be educated, and parents need to start talking about investing so they can trigger that down to the conversation and the importance of it. Because I guarantee if you buy that $1,200 and you buy Nike stock, about 10 to 12 stocks, and keep it in there for 10 years, you will gain more than buying 10 pairs of gym shoes, Nike gym shoes. That $1,200 can grow if you invest it. And that's why having that conversation, I started doing that. So now when I have kids or my niece and them, I always say, okay, this is where you want to put your money, invest it. And then when you make good money, invest in real estate, owning homes, rehabbing it and rent it out and keep checks coming in, or you Airbnb it out, so you got to have those conversations at home. It starts at home.
Unless we buy something, it's really weird. I mean, I guess I got lucky. Sometimes you get lucky. You get born, and I don't think it's lucky, but you get born into a certain amount of people that was this way. So we have a few properties up. Then we got some people. We're the only black family on a piece of land called Wild Goose Lake.
Wow.
There's no other black family on it. Okay. But it used to be all black people on the land. So every time, the thing is, we've got to stop looking at money as go to the store buying power. You have to start looking at green as buying power to keep your survival, not to eat, not noodles, not candy, survival in your livelihood. Not going to get some chip survival. You ain't gonna starve for one day. You wasn't gonna starve. Your brain was not gonna be dead if you didn't buy no shoes. You have to think money, green, coin, however you want to say it, the bag, it has to buy much more than materialistic things. You have to know that if you keep giving up the power of land, you're going to give up your opportunity. And then there's nobody to cry to. You can't keep crying if you're not trying to buy it. True, we don't have, ooh, y'all going to be mad at me. Ooh, wow, y'all going to be mad at me. Michael Jordan, you might not own Nike, but you got hella stock in Nike. For you to not stand up and be like, look, brother, look at here, kids. Y'all don't need to buy this right now. Let's sit back. Let's hold on to this. For the people that y'all idolize, to not step up and try to help the black youth, it pisses me off. They're going to run home and watch the Michael Jordan special. Is Michael Jordan standing up telling y'all to save y'all money? And you got enough Nike shoes? And no, I'm sorry, because it's all about him. That 1% of the black America that we need, ooh, it bothers me. I'm going to have to get off the phone, Wiley, because I'm triggered, and I'm going to just get off. But we got a lot of growing to do. And I mean growing as in growing up. Growing up. Not just, oh, my God, my kids. No, grow up. The parents need to grow up so that your child can see a better you. You can't be in the house thinking your child can be the next LeBron James if you're sitting there smoking weed, getting high with a bonnet on. Oh, see, I'm going to get in trouble. That's why, I'm going to be quiet. But you get what I mean. You get my point, right?
I hear you.
You know what I mean?
I hear you.
I'm sorry, people. I know people. I know. I don't mean to talk about violence. I'm not trying to be funny. I was just watching IG and I was seeing all these people online and they talking to their kids and the kids is running around outside. And it's not even about the pandemic. It's idiocracy, Christy, of black people right now to not be together. Voting. I don't see nobody walking in my neighborhood saying, hey, are you registered to vote? Where these people at? I know it's a pandemic, but y'all go out there and party. You go take your ass at the club. You used to be able to walk down the street and ask for a vote. Help the kids. Get registered.
Facts.
But, okay. I'm done. I'm sorry. I done held y'all up. It's late. I'm sorry. I'm gonna get off. But Wiley, I love this. I love this topic. I love everything about it.
I love
and you
it
have
too.
a great show.
All right, thank
and
you.
You know I'm gonna send you some cash out money. So
Thank
have
you.
a good night.
Thank you, man.
You're welcome.
All right, bye-bye. And that's what is needed. We have to have these conversations. And having these conversations is nothing wrong with sitting down, having these conversations. I know some people in here not going to like it, and they are going to look at me different, but it is nothing wrong sitting down, having these serious conversations, because it is definitely needed, and it's definitely needed as well. Well, this was a good conversation. Like I said, I've had some stocks, and we'll talk about that. I'm signing up with Stash. My portfolio is looking. Let me see what my portfolio looking at. I got a portfolio almost $300 in investments on my Stash account. On my Acorns account, I have Acorn accounts. I have almost $200 of investments in my Acorn account. On my Robinhood account, I have almost $70. So I put little investments. I'm going to be investing some more stuff into that as well. So I definitely going to do some more investments of it as well. Do some massive investments. So I'm definitely here for it. Then I got my resume, getting it together. I'm really loving being at home, working for self. I want to thank you all for buying mugs and t-shirts and stuff. Thank you for that. We got new designs coming. I just love having this conversation because it's not too many shows that sit and talk about this on this platform. And we need more conversations like this. And this is why we talk about politics and, and about history. We talk about it all, as well as celebrity gossip. This show was a lengthy show. So thank you all that have been donating. I want to give a special shout out to the producers for that. Also, too, I checked my P.O. box today. No, I didn't check it today. I think I checked this yesterday. And what did I do with it? Someone sent me this book for the air fryer cookbook. They sent me the air fryer cookbook. And I got like different stuff. So when I start my cooking show, it's going to be great. I can't wait. When I start my cooking show, on the main channel, I got it where I got different ingredients. When you quick and easy air fry salmon. Ooh, wow. And then you got it with the crablet, Asian shrimp, Melanie, great catfish, Simon cake, favorite shrimp, just different like ingredients. Fish tacos, Chinese garlic shrimp. So it's just so much stuff that we're definitely going to be air fry chicken with honey and lemon. Air fried chicken with honey and lemon. That's why they get you a smoke flavor, good season. So I'm here for it. Honey grill ham and cheese. 4 slices of bread, half cup butter. 2 slices of ham, 2 slices of cheese. So we got all type of stuff. Beef steak. What else up here? Air fried crispy chicken thighs. 1 pound of chicken thighs. Half teaspoon of salt. Have 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. 1/4 of teaspoon of garlic powder. Season the thigh with salt, pepper, garlic powder. Arrange the thighs skin side down and air fry and cook until golden brown for 20 minutes at 350 Fahrenheit. Also, the classic French fries cooking spray, 2 rest of potatoes, wash it dry, cut, strip, spray the air fryer basket with cooking spray in a bowl. So we're gonna be having a good old time. And so I have the book. Get you some flour, good seasoning. Now, yeah. So I got my air fryer cookbook. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Yes. Okay. So we're gonna be cooking. Cooking with Wiley, that'll be coming soon. So thank you all for that. For purchasing me that book. I don't know who sent it to, whatever producer that sent it. Thank you. And God bless you for that. Gotta go. Yeah. Oh, excuse me. We've been on here for 2 hours. We've been on here for 2 hours. Let me check and see. Okay. A couple people want their notifications. Let me see. All right. Okay. All right. That was a great show. Shout out to all the callers. Your thoughts and opinion was much needed and appreciated. Yes. So shout out to all the mods in the house. Thank y'all for y'all love, for y'all support. We will see y'all again on the next video. Want to shout out to all the mods. Thank you to Amin Brown 09. Shout out to Tori Mom. Shout out to Jay Real, Nurse Nicole, Blue Skies, Puppy Love, B Scales, Mouth Open. Shout out to Shantae. Shout out to Day. Shout out to TLC and 3. And also shout out to D1. Shout out to all the mods. Thank y'all for y'all love and for y'all support. And we will see y'all, Simon in the air. Oh, I can't wait to cook that. Shout out to all the mods. Oh, I can't wait. But what I am going to make, I'll make it my air fry me some chicken wings. Again, that's like my favorite right now. So I'm gonna season them up. And so I might go live, I might not. I'm not gonna make no promises. Right now I'm watching is it Chuck Carson? I'm watching Fox News right now. I like watching Fox News. It's very entertaining when they be lying, when they be I just love watching Fox News. I love entertainment. Sometimes I watch CNN. I watch Fox. I watch whatever's on the news. I look at its entertainment factor. But even though half of the stuff we talk about Tucker Carlson be a bunch of BS, it just be so funny. And I got addicted to watching that because I used to work in a nursing home, and all they used to watch was like Fox News, and half of the stuff be a bunch of bull crap. I just watch it for entertainment purposes, so I'll be into it. All right, y'all. We'll see y'all later. But once this video ends, leave us a comment. I want to see how we did, and we'll bring some more content like this. So thank y'all for it. Peace. Yes, thank y'all so very much. Look at Tucker Carlson. He be like saying some stuff like, y'all. This man be he's such you can just tell he don't like black people. I just be watching folks that just don't like black people. And I just be getting key out of like they be giving this man airtime. I'm literally just watching him like give a bunch of bull crap. But the people that be soaking it up, they be soaking it up. I will see y'all later. Let me go ahead and fry me some wings. And I'm talking about Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson on the Fox News. I just be watching him, just a bunch of bull crap people talk about. Let me go ahead and finish. Let me go ahead. I'll see y'all later. Peace.